Amorim sacked. What happened there? I'm still here. I am online, but my screen just flew away. Unbelievable.
Just like Amorim did.
Let's pretend that didn't happen. Welcome to the Transfer Exchange Show. We are live. Amorim sacked. Maresca sacked. Nuno next. Who knows? Maybe you do. I'm joined by Garth. I'm joined by Steve. How are you guys doing? Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, mate.
Same to you, mate.
Yeah, Happy New Year.
Good. We've got plenty to discuss this week, of course, because everyone is just it's a hot fire sale at the moment. We've got the Chelsea manager gone, potentially being replaced by Liam Rosenior. We've got the Manchester United manager gone, being replaced by Darren Fletcher. What is going on? And potentially, I mean, the way West Ham are going, I'd say one more bad result, and it could be potentially Nuno Espirito Santo gone as well. There's plenty of other things to talk about, but we are talking about the hottest topics at the moment, and that is the 2 seconds. We're going to start off on Enzo Maresca because that was the first one, and it was all a little bit crazy. Enzo Maresca had some words to say the other day, and then after that, there was kind of murmurs that he said too much. Chelsea aren't happy. Ben Jacobs dropped a story essentially saying that conversations have been had between the Chelsea hierarchy and Enzo Maresca, and the conversations did not go well. 24 hours later, Enzo Maresca has been announced as sacked by transfer guru Fabrizio Romano and David Ornstein. Then it just left people guessing as to what actually happened, and Maresca shed some light on that. Apparently, he didn't have the full say in team selection. I don't think it was as direct as that, as what it came across. I think what he was implying was that he was told to play players, to make subs, to bring up the value of the player. He was told to play players he was advised to play players due to potentially injury concerns, but he didn't see it in that way at all. Steve, I'll go to you first because you are the transfer guy and you're pretty much got your finger on the button of most things. Enzo Maresca, what have you heard about it in terms of what his gripe was with the Chelsea board?
Yeah, I mean, it was pretty much what you said. You said it spot on. There was a meeting, I think it was after the Bournemouth game, or what I should say, from what I heard, there was a confrontation after the Bournemouth game when they they drew 2-2, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
And he had a confrontation with one of the board members. I was told it was the guy. Forgive me if I'm pronouncing it wrong. Iqbal, one of the billionaire owners with him, literally outside the dressing room, which led to a boardroom discussion, and then it went off from there. From what I heard, there was, things that were going on during the week, and you've mentioned them already. At the start there, where he was getting told to do certain things regarding player selections and who needs to play, not necessarily like on a tactic wise, but needed to play. And I think we've all worked out over the time of since Maresca's been in the Premier League that he's one of these players who one of these managers who doesn't take too much nonsense. And we all know Chelsea like a yes man, and we know what happens to yes men at Chelsea. They get the sack, and literally, fair play to Maresca, I say, because standing up and not taking them. Because we'll go on to Amorim, later, but fair play to him. I think any manager who's worth their worth, ain't going to take it from board members telling them what to do. A lot of people. Sorry, go on. No, I was going to say a lot of.
Go on.
I was going to say a lot of people are saying we'll turn man, especially some of the talk shows that we listen to and the media outlets will turn around and say, well, Maresca's. I've seen people say, well, Maresca knew what it was all about. Knew what he was all about before he got the job. He must have been told. Well, none of us know that for sure, but I'm sure if he would have been told that he was, to be told by certain members of the board, he wouldn't have took the job, because Maresca doesn't come across to me like that. He's someone who seems to be, pretty, confident in his own way and would want to be a manager rather than a head coach. So, yeah, that's how I take it. But, yeah, look, we'll get into Amorim as well. It's a very similar situation. But that's Chelsea's model. And if you don't, abide to that model, then you're sacked. Whether he was actually sacked or not, or it was a mutual agreement, these things have, are said differently. We don't really know. It's sometimes they get the managers to say that they've been sacked, so they get their compensation and things like this, and so on and so forth. So we don't really know for sure. That sometimes that's contrived. But yeah, look, that's the way I see it at the minute. And now Chelsea are looking at bringing in Liam Rosinha, who we can talk about that a bit later.
You mentioned that Chelsea are want yes men, but this has only been since Todd Bowley has been in charge, because Chelsea are notoriously renowned for having strong leaders in charge. But that seems to have changed. His model seems to have changed.
Yeah. Since Bowley's come in, isn't it? Since like the Graham Potters and the ones before that, and it seems that the strong-minded managers that have come in, have been kicked out of the club very quickly. It seems to be, Bluco, Clear Lake. They've come in, they've got their way of doing things, and like I've already said, if you don't abide to what they say or what their rules are, then you're out.
Yeah. Garth, we saw Enzo Maresca leave. Do you think he knew what was coming when he said it? What he said?
Yeah, I think he was on his way out. Everything Steve said is what I've heard as well. A couple of extra things on top of it. Obviously, there's the links that he was flirting with Man City to take over from Pep.
Yeah.
After
it didn't come too far after that, did it?
No, exactly. Apparently, he's been having a massive bust up with the medical department as well. This is from ESPN.com, so I don't know how true it is. But at Chelsea, the medical team apparently works independently from anyone else. They're their own unit, and what they say on players goes. Like, it's a bit weird, apparently. I don't know the ins and outs of this, but it's something to look into, apparently. They just send their reports to the gaffer. That's it. And, Maresca felt that they were trying to tell him that players who weren't fit enough to play were fit enough to play. And again, now you read between the lines, was that coming from above? Bottom line, and again, as Steve said, we'll talk about Amorim as well in a minute. Bottom line is, we're at the situation in our football clubs where the manager doesn't have control.
Yeah.
Manager, head coach, technical, whatever, you don't have control. Even Arteta and Pep, who are two of the most who I'd say have got the most amount of reign over their clubs. Even they don't have full control over their transfers, over this, over that, you know what I mean? So, and I think Maresca didn't want it. I think Maresca was promised things, or in his heart believed he was promised certain things that haven't been brought to the fore. I think this, like Steve said, this thing about the rumour is he was being told what players should be playing because of market values needing to be risen and so on and so forth. Mate, if you're a manager and you've got, I don't know who Chelsea's backroom staff are with, but their technical director comes down and is like, no, you've got to play Garnacho because we've just spent 45 mil on him. You'd be like, no, I haven't, mate. And do you know what? I ain't playing him now. Get out of here. Like, I'm the gaffer of this team. Like, sort it out. So, yeah, I think he'd had enough and he wanted his payout. And he blew up in the press conference. Obviously, he's been emotional in press conferences before as well. You know what I mean? But he was saying what he said to get out of that club and to get, you know, I mean, what was it? A few weeks before we had the worst 48 hours comment that apparently, again, according to ESPN.com, is that was to do with the medical department, and he had a massive row with them about them telling him what players can and can't play. And he's like, I don't believe it. I saw him in training, sort of thing. Again, it's all hearsay, obviously. It's all hearsay. Yeah. And I think he just, he was like, all right, well, then I'm not walking away. I'm not walking away because I've got a contract till 2029, mate. Yeah, I've got a contract till 2029 because you're silly and gave us contracts like that. So, yeah, I'll just cause a bit of a stink and you're going to have to fire me and I'm going to get my payout. You know what I mean? Apparently they're discussing what that payout's going to be at the moment. You know what I mean? But he's walking away with a solid 20 mil in his back pocket. So, I think he knew the writing was on the wall. And I think that we're coming to a crossroads where managers, this is why Thomas Tuchel didn't want the Man United job, because he couldn't be promised to have full control over things.
Obviously, why I fell out with Bowley as well. Yeah,
exactly why I fell out with Bowley. We're getting to the stage now where you're looking at Maresca off the pass, I can never pronounce it properly, at Nottingham Forest. Like, I don't like this interference from owners and the football department above the manager with match day stuff. Not with match day stuff. That's crazy to me. The manager should have 100% say on what's going on the pitch. It's his job. It's his livelihood. You know what I mean? It's his reputation. So yeah, look, he knew what he was doing. He knew it was coming. I think personally, and it's a weird situation, to be fair. But that Man City link's the one where I'm a bit like, if that is true, that you've been, you know what I mean, offering your services to City while you're Chelsea manager, that's actually a bit unacceptable from Maresca, in my opinion, that one.
Yeah, I didn't hear too much about that he was actually in contact with them. You usually do that by your agent anyway. But I did hear that Man City he was one of the managers on the shortlist for when Pep potentially leaves at the end of the season.
Man City are denying it, but Chelsea are. This is again straight from the ESPN article. Man City deny it, but Chelsea are adamant that not only did Maresca have conversations with Man City, but also Juventus. So I don't know where that one's come from.
Oh.
I don't know where that. Clearly,
it might have come from his agent. You never know. It might have been like I think you said, Garth. This might have been contrived by Maresca. He might have had enough. He might have wanted out.
Yeah. And this is the thing, isn't it? Yeah. He's obviously got there and don't like what's happening because he's getting, you know, especially when it's non-football people and you are a real football person, you know, just as fans, you know, it is when someone who don't know football tries to talk to you about football, you're like, no, mate, no, step back a minute here, mate. Don't do that. So, it fell apart clearly. It's been rough between them all, basically, ever since the start of the season, I feel like. I don't know what you boys like. It feels that way, that he's been on the outs. And yeah, we're getting to the crossroads where we've got to make decisions now, but the boards have got to make decisions whether they're just it's going to be like American football, where you hire a general manager to look after the team, and everyone else does everything else. You know what I mean? All the backroom staff do all that. The general manager does everything and the coach just looks after the team. You know, the general manager makes all your signings. The general manager looks after everything else. He's running the club and you're an employee who just manages the football team on the pitch. Or we've got to go back to the old days when managers had far more control to wield over their football club. I think it's going to be the former because obviously the money that's on the line. But I don't like it. I think managers should be given managers should be allowed to make far more decisions about their club than we're seeing at the moment, specifically in signings. Managers should be having far more control over their signings instead of specifically Chelsea here. No, we're buying Garnacho because we can see him making us a profit in the future. No, we're getting Bradley Gittins because we can see a profit in the future. You know what I mean? Like, you can't be doing that, I don't think. Like, that seems weird to me personally.
Yeah.
Makes you wonder, though, doesn't it, lads? Do you know what I mean? We're football people. We like to think we're football people. We like to think we know a little bit about the game. But their model doesn't work, does it? It doesn't work. When did I these owners, and we'll get onto Manchester United because it's sort of the two go into one. So I don't want to say too much about it, but the models of these clubs, I think we'll speak about it a bit later on because it.
Well, you can see that's the Chelsea model because it's very different to the Man United model. Although the sackings are similar,
that's
the
what I'm
issues
talking
were different.
about. That's what I mean. That's what I mean. The actual like
Chelsea, this business that Chelsea are trying to run of we're just here to make money first. Like it's weird to everyone.
Yeah,
apart from Chelsea fans.
No one. Do you know what, to be fair, there's a big contingent of Chelsea fans that don't get it. And even if they're, and I think there was a lot of I can't think of the word, but they weren't believing what they were saying. They knew there was something not right, but it's just a front because now you're hearing a lot more saying what's now that Maresca's gone, now it's all coming out. Now they're all like, what are we doing here? We sold, and you're seeing the videos from Chelsea fans now, all ages. We sold Madueke and bought in Gittins. We sold Garnacho and bought it, like we sold so-and-so and brought in Garnacho. That they're not happy. All the things that people were saying over the summer when they were laughing at Arsenal for buying Madueke, oh, you bought our flop once again. Yeah. They're now looking back and going, Madueke's better than Gittins.
By a long way as well. A long way.
They're calling them Black Mudrick. but with less talent.
That's harsh. Yeah, less talent. Hopefully less drugs in his system as well. But yeah, like harsh. That's a harsh one.
But it's true. Like when you, I think you was one of the first ones to say it was like because you was a fan of Madueke when Arsenal signed him. You said they replaced him with Gittins. What are they hoping to get to gain here? Like, what, are they hoping to get a better player in? Or are they just looking to flip it? Like what's their goal? What is their model? And no one really knows.
5 years younger kids. It's about money. That's the way they think. That's what they think.
Prime example. There's paid 60 million for João Pedro. How much do you think you're going to get for João Pedro? Like 60 million is top end for that player. I don't know how much better he gets than what he is now.
English. Sorry, Keir. They paid 50 English for Gittins.
Like, that's mental. 50 English for Gittins. What's that like?
I think he's like 5 years younger,
65 million euros.
Go by that or something.
I didn't think Madueke was Madueke mid-20s. I thought he was more like 24, Madueke. Have I got that wrong? Is he like 27? No, 21. Yeah, 21. So it's only a couple of years, I think. But you get what they're thinking, Steve. You're absolutely right. A bit more youth on their side, plus the English tax. But are they working on margins that are so small that if they do flip Gittins for 55 mil, that 5 mil really makes a big difference on their books in the long run? You know what I mean?
They are. No, I think they are. I think it's like a survival thing until they get the big kahuna. Do you know what I mean? But that for them now, that's Cole Palmer. So that means you have to sell Cole Palmer within the next couple of years before his valuation actually starts to go down because we're not seeing progression with Cole Palmer, in all honesty. Of course he's going to plateau now because unless Cole Palmer has a better season than he did 2 seasons ago, people are now starting to think, was that just a one-off? They're going to start questioning it. So the money that you could have got for Cole Palmer at that time, say, could have been 120 million. I'd say you're getting 100 now. Give it next season. If he has the same season as he does last season or what he's having now with a couple of injuries, it's 80. And then his contract's running down and then he wants to go. So Chelsea on a ticking time bomb with these sorts of things they want to do. Like what Chelsea's model is what they're trying to do, is the kind of thing I expect of a Brighton. Is the kind of thing I expect Newcastle to be doing to build up to get to where a Chelsea, Man United, Man City and Liverpool are. Because they've got to show they've got the reserve. They've got to show they've got a data sheet to show that they've made sales. They've got incoming money. But you don't expect that of Chelsea. Now, where Chelsea were last season to get into a Champions League spot, I'm sitting there thinking, cool, if Chelsea buy the right players, they could be a bit of trouble. They could be a problem here for other people. My expectation of what the old Chelsea would have done is gone out and got Victor Osimhen up front and not João Pedro. They would have gone out and got Mark Gahey, brought him back, because that's what they do, like to bring their old players back. Bring back Mark Gahey. He's been at the club before. Yet you're coming back in. And maybe Mike Mignon as the goalkeeper because they were looking at him before the tournament. But no, they went out and bought players for near enough the same money as these players would have cost, yet they're nowhere near as good. No experience, nothing established. It makes no sense. So if Maresca didn't have a say in what the transfers were, if he's getting pressured to play people, if he's got a backroom staff which he has an inkling as a connection to the board, which is doing things for ulterior motives like valuation, whatever, then he needs to get out, because you're being judged on your results, and if your results don't come from the things that you're doing in the background, then it's not you, and he needs to leave.
That's why they're getting someone like Liam Rosenior, because he's the type
about him as well before we move on.
Don't buy Chelsea Blue Co anyway, so he's just going to come in and do what Chelsea owners want, which is to do exactly what they say and go by their model that they've done for the last since they came in.
And for how long?
No, they're not going to get another big manager. There's no big managers going to go there. Who's going to in their right mind going to go to Chelsea? And you say about players, this is what I was talking about in the model earlier. I wasn't talking about money. I was talking about keeping managers there and looking for better players and getting more experience. But that's the type of when I was talking about the model. I mean, you say I'm close to what transfers. I mean, who really a big name has actually come? Can you think of has actually come close to signing for Chelsea over the last 3-4 years?
Nothing.
You
hear murmurs. You hear murmurs.
You hear murmur. That's it. And they end up going against Garnacho, Pedro, and they get this Gusto, Badishiel. They get this mob, don't they? What's his name? The Fulham bloke, the centre back. They get a Sanchez.
It's champ players, football manager players, isn't it?
I think Chelsea fans would say to you that Enzo Fernandez, although he hasn't turned out all right, was a big name when they signed him. Obviously, off the back of the World Cup, he was a talent. Let's say Caicedo. Yeah, but your point is entirely right, Steve. They're out there buying. They're out there looking. But what we're going to say with Kit, they're doing the Brighton thing. But Brighton bought buy players for 12 million. 23 at tops. Chelsea are out there dropping 65 million on projects. Hoping to be able to 50 to 60 mil, hoping to be able to make a profit off of that. That's crazy.
Do you know who else has done it well? Sunderland have done it well, and they couldn't do like what Brighton did, get them for like 6 mil to 12 mil, send them out on loan for a season, get them back, and then they're players. Sunderland have had to pay that a little bit extra, the 23 mils, but they've gone out and got from clubs like Lille, from Rennes. Like, these are well-established clubs that bring through quality youngsters. Their youth programs are well-renowned. Like, these players have probably got about 40 to 50 games in Ligue 1, under their belts, and like under 10, 15 under 21 caps. They're known in France. They're known on the continent. And then like Sunderland have taken a risk. Chelsea aren't even doing that. They're going and buying like the bigger name up from more established clubs. And it's like there's already been a little bit of hype around them because they scored a couple of goals on Sky Sports. And then Chelsea buy them at the top end price. And it's like, it doesn't feel like there's any real direction of where they want to go with these signings either, because they go out and buy five wingers when they need a centre back. Like, it's like, how can you manage that? How can you manage that? It's all over the place. And on Liam Rosenior, I worry for him. Me and Garth were speaking about the other day. He's not got a long history in English football. I think he was at Hull.
Hull, yeah.
Well, I think it says it here. Hull and Derby he was, and I think Derby was like is it interim or caretaker or something like that. And then he's gone out to Strasbourg and done well last season. But then again, like, yes, Chelsea are getting in a manager now who's could potentially be a yes man, who's can't believe in his wildest dreams that he's already at Chelsea. But let's say Liam Rosenior has a good season, keeps Chelsea in that top 4 spot, and then starts season next well. He's going to want to start having his way. especially if people start leaning on him and saying you've got to do this, do that, and then those things don't work out. It's not going to be long until he's turning around and going, "Do you know what? No, I'm not having none of this either." Because then he's at the start of his career, but now he's got Chelsea on his CV. So if he does a half decent job and leaves there, he can go many, many places. But like, he doesn't want to tarnish his name when it's not him making decisions. So I don't know what Chelsea are going to do here, and I think the fans are going to start turning on the ball soon.
The other day, wasn't it? It's like if they own him. It was Liam Senior. When he was asking about doing his job, he said, "Look, it's not." His exact words. I watched the press conference when he was like up when Strasbourg were playing a game, and someone asked him a question. He said, "Look," he said, "I've got no say in the matter." He said, "I'll go where I'm told to go." That's his exact word. But that's because Chelsea own him. They own the manager. They own the Strasbourg. They own the club. They own everything.
Yeah.
So the guy's like, if they want me, Chelsea want me to go. It was like I've got to go, and as if he's told to go.
I don't like that.
Yeah, see, I don't like that either. Yeah, that's when you're getting into it. I mean, there's a different conversation, the Blue Co situation, because we can talk about
that's a full point on that.
It's a discussion, but just on your point, Steve, I think that's why they've gone for Liam Rosenior, because the money will go back into the Blue Co books, which can then be funneled
in the Chelsea of 1.5 mil. Oh, we're going to use that for transfers for Blue Co again.
They're probably got on a contract which his money won't go up. He'll just get paid the same amount of money as if he was getting paid at Strasbourg.
Yeah. His contract will be with no compensation either, probably, or a minimal compensation.
Yeah. But Chelsea have got a model, haven't they? Their models buy in the best club, the best issue player that nobody wants. That's Chelsea's model, isn't it? No, the Delaps, the Garnachos, the Gittins, the Netos.
We all know what Delap was. Delap was brought in because it's 30 million and they think they can flip that to 50 to a Tottenham in a couple of seasons. That's what Delap was. He had a half decent. He had a half decent season last season at Ipswich, which was a relegation team. You've got a relegation striker. It's completely different to having a striker who's getting the ball, who's getting in space, and needs to do something. That it's two completely different strikers. Like that's what I mean. It doesn't feel like they've got a serious direction for where they want to go on which kind of player they want to sign. It's just a scattergun hit and hope. And I don't know how to survive that. I think what they start to do is as soon as they start to think, okay, someone like Delap, the value's not going to go up, they go and sell him for 30 mil, or they do like a loan for a 5 mil loan and then sell him for 20 mil the next season. Like
sell him to Strasbourg for 35 to just make.
There we go.
There we go down a little bit.
The only they've got to make money on, the way I see it at the minute, is Cole Palmer.
Yeah, Cole Palmer. Maybe Garnacho, because Garnacho was only 40 mil, and I do think someone would drop a 60 mil on Garnacho just because the abilities, not the ability, the technical ability is there, but he isn't good enough. But you're entirely right. Me and Kim were talking about this a couple of days ago. They've got Palmer, Garnacho, maybe 20 mil, like extra on what they paid for him. And then after that, you are seriously like, there's no value in Gittins, there's no value in João Pedro, there's no value in any of Caicedo or Enzo Fernandez. You know, you might get your money back for Caicedo, but no one. The other thing Chelsea got me, no other club really is dropping 100 mil like they do. I know Arsenal got Rice in, but and Liverpool just done it, but it's not that many clubs out there that are willing to drop 100 mil on a player.
Tell you what, it's like the prices are shortening a bit. I've noticed, haven't you?
Yeah, they definitely are. Yeah, it's hit a crux point where people are getting thinking that these fees are getting a little silly, and then you get into that back line. There is no one of any value in that back line for them. Where they're making.
Liverpool with his converts to win a bit nutty.
Yeah, that was an ego trip because they hadn't spent money for a couple of years, weren't it? So, but yeah, they've got no value, Steve. Exactly what you're saying. Apart from Palmer, this is if you remember, lads. Honestly, go back to last season's show, and that's what I said. They're going to come unstuck. This business model works until they've run out of players that got value on them, and then they've got to sell the Palmer. And now you sold Palmer. Chelsea fans revolt. Who are you bringing in? No one. Keir said this to me the other day. What they're hoping for is a class of 92 to come through. Yeah. They're hoping to find 6 or 7 young players at once to bring through that they can then make millions off of. You know what I mean? But if I was a Chelsea fan, I'd be fuming because I want trophies, and you ain't sustaining. I know they won the Club World Cup last year, but like you're not sustaining success with this business model. You're just not. Period.
No, because once they get to a certain level, you're not winning the Club World Cup. You're not winning the Conference League like the Champions League. It's night and day in comparison to quality. Do you know what I mean? So yes, you won the Club World the Conference League, but you don't go into the Champions League. You ain't winning it like that. Like
Not with the squad,
Chelsea
yeah.
didn't play a first team player in that thing until the knockout stages.
Yeah.
Like
Cole Palmer
was not in
was he?
in that first squad. He ain't travelling to the arse end of Uzbekistan to play the fourth team, the fourth best team in Uzbekistan. He ain't doing that. He ain't doing that. So yeah, look, Chelsea are in trouble long term, I think, because as you said there, I've already heard. I don't know how true it is because on social media anyone could just write anything, but I'm already hearing murmurs that Cole Palmer is not completely happy with what's happening in terms of the project and the direction. Yeah. And when you see his manner on the pitch, he's a player that's frustrated with the players around him. Like I even watched the game yesterday against Man City. Yeah, and Cole Palmer wasn't good. He's not been good against any top 6 team ever, really, to be fair. But Cole Palmer is running with the ball into an area where he should have just passed it. And then as he's running it, he's telling people to run up the pitch. And I'm like, that's ego. There's too much ego there. You already know you're the guy at that team and you're playing, not like I'm the man, you're playing like you lot of shit. That's how you're playing. And that is the beginning of the end for Cole Palmer because you get frustrated. The next thing you know, if Chelsea miss out on Champions League this season, he's on to his agent talking about, I want a club that's got Champions League.
Mate, Chelsea need to sell him if they don't make Champions League because of their business model? We don't know. I'm just afraid I don't know what their business model. I mean, apparently they had 300 mil surplus, didn't they, at the start of the season? I don't know how that was. No,
because Arsenal. One of the gripes that some Arsenal fans had with Arsenal selling Bayern Medweke was the fact that we were helping Chelsea get across that line because they need like 100 and something million to make up before a certain date. Otherwise, I think this was only the European one that we're going to get. You were going to get potentially kicked out of Europe if you didn't meet the quota for that date. So they're in that situation all the time. And I've already mentioned it before. Chelsea apparently, I think from what I heard previously, is Chelsea have to sell £100 million worth of players every season for a while based on the fact that they've got these 8-year contracts because they've got so many of them contracts piled up that, okay, it was 20 million for one player, 20 million season, nothing. You've now done 4 of them. So that's £80 million a player you've got to get every season to pay off that debt. Where is that coming from? Like you said, where are you getting this money from? You're running out of players to sell. You're going to get to a point when no one wants your players, especially the way you talk about them. Oh, tossing this, tossing that. You're tossing players all over the place. Like, have some respect for them, mate.
And a couple of the ones that got out on loan aren't ripping up either. I know Bayern Munich, Steve might know more than this, they're not looking at taking Nicholas Jackson permanent by the looks of things. I read the other day.
You might get money for like that Andre Santos, who came on yesterday and did well. And he had a good time. I think he was at Strasbourg last season.
That was a wrong. I thought Jackson was a good player. I thought he was like.
What?
He's the type of player. If I was a Chelsea fan, I'd think, this guy is. He's. Do you know what I mean? He's rugged. He's got a bit of pace about him. He knows where the back of the net is. Okay, he's got a bit of a panic in him.
Yeah.
But why would you want to?
Chelsea fans ripped him.
I don't know.
Bits though, Steve. He even said it. I'm a bad player. Like. He has been ripped to shreds. Chelsea fans, when they don't rate you, they let you know. They make sure you know. It's not a case of behind the scenes. I'm not really sure about him. They will let you know. Compilations come out. They're getting atted. They are nasty, mate. I don't want to hear anyone.
Who was this? Jackson. Jackson.
Yeah. They flamed Jackson.
Mount. They did it with Havertz, and they don't just do it like on the. They make sure you know. They get in your ads. They DM you. They get onto your family members. They are well renowned for being nasty once they know you are either leaving or they don't rate you. Like, it's really bad. Jackson, there's quotes from Jackson's essentially showing that his confidence is shot because he doesn't rate himself anymore. and that has come from the Chelsea fan base. Because
The other thing with true.
Because a lot of people outside of that look at Jackson and go, "Oh, the progression year by year has been all right, you know. Give it a couple more seasons, it could be all right. It could be all right." But no, Liam Delap, silly. And now
he's got close to a 1 in 2 for Chelsea. I think it's 30 goals in like 75 games or something. Like it's close. It ain't quite. But I'll tell you what's happened. Chelsea, what they're thinking, they signed him for 32 mil. They are hoping he went on loan to Bayern Munich, done well, and then someone was sniffing around at the 45, 50 mil for him. This is their problem.
They wanted 80, didn't they?
Shut up.
That's the problem. They wanted 80. Yeah.
I like Nicholas Jackson. I like him. I think he's a good player. 80 mil.
They got greedy.
Silly. But yeah, I think if they fall out of Champions League one season, I think you see them implode. I really do. I think Chelsea are in real trouble. Real trouble if they drop out of the Champions League in the next couple of years.
I agree. Any final words on this, Steve?
No, mate, I think everything's been said. You know, it's just Chelsea are just a rule to their own, aren't they? You know, we've sort of said everything there is to say about them, and yeah, I don't know. If they do go downhill and they end up middle table and they end up not making any monies off their players, then I think they've had it coming to them. And I won't be crying any tears for them.
Oh no, I don't be silly.
Oh dear, what a shame. Never mind.
I've had too much grief from Chelsea since what?
It's like Madueke. They think Madueke is a bad player. They thought Jorginho was a bad player. They thought Havertz was a bad player.
Havertz.
You know what I mean? They think Nicholas Jackson's a bad player. Well, I tell you what, every one of those players would walk into your side now. And that's even Jorginho as well. Walking your side.
You go through it one by one, yeah.
Shows how far they've come, doesn't it?
Yeah. Madueke for Gittins. Downgrade.
Havertz would walk in.
Havertz for I don't know, but they would say Havertz for Cole Palmer, so they can have Cole Palmer. It's fine, so they can have that one. What's his name? Jackson for Delap. Like it's mental that they actually thought that they were upgrades, that they gaslit themselves into believing they've upgraded. Well, you're going to learn soon. You're going to learn today.
Now this is where Garth gets his let's what we all do.
If this is not a face, if this is not a I'm leaving with big compensation smile, I do not know what it is. He actually hop, skipped and jumped his way. I skated down that pathway to his car, saying goodbye to Manchester United. Do you know what? In the end, I think he's come across really well. I don't think he's tarnished his career at all. I think people like his honesty. I know he had some mad hat moments and said things, and then the tactics board came out, and the fact that he don't like to watch penalties. Look, all those things, yeah. But I think he gained a lot of respect from people in the end, in England at least, for what he was doing at Man United, for sticking to his guns, even though it seemed like it was going against the grain and wasn't working. In the end, he got Man United into a position of progression, and there was light at the end of the tunnel. It seemed better players were coming in, but there was clearly something behind the scenes which people weren't seeing, because yes, we'd heard a few inklings around here and there, but yesterday's outburst was one that was the final straw, it felt like. And it felt like he knew exactly what he was doing, he knew exactly what he was saying, and he knew exactly what was going to happen. What better person to talk about this than Garth? What are your thoughts on the Ruben Amorim situation?
Mate, you summed it up quite nicely, bro, to be quite honest with you. I don't think I've got anything to add to the monologue. Yeah, listen, he wanted to go. He didn't. It's a similar situation with Maresca. He didn't have the control that he wanted. He was being told to change his system. I feel well sorry for him. Let's just talk about Amorim for a second, and I'll get onto the state of Man United afterwards. I feel well sorry for him. He was brought in when he didn't want to come. You know what I mean? The last half of last season was meant to not matter, period. Doesn't matter, because you've been brought in. He didn't want to come till the summer. because he knew that the squad wouldn't be able to do what he needed it to do. He knew it'd be terrible. He said as soon as he come in, it's going to be terrible. He said that outright as soon as he come in because he knew he wanted to come in the summer. We forced his hand, gave him the ultimatum: you come now, or you don't come at all. So he's turned up. He's not got the players that he wanted. He's not been given the control that he wants. And bottom line, it's his reputation as well on the line, isn't it? He's a young manager. He's well thought of on the continent. Ruben Amorim is very well thought of on the continent. Like I've seen a couple of videos circling from European football commentators talking about how, like, this is what I was saying to you earlier, Keir, he'd have no problem getting another job at a decent club as well. They like the way he works. They like the way he conducts himself. Excuse me. They like his philosophy. You know what I mean? And he will pick up another job straight away. Yeah, we're shambles of a club, period. But yeah, like, he was promised stuff that he wasn't given, pure and simple, and he's blown up about it. He was clearly promised January transfers. They haven't turned up, like, and it looks like we're not getting any. You know what I mean? Because it's clear what we need. It's clear as day. The summer, he wanted certain players, didn't get them, and Man United went out and bought players that he didn't say that he wanted. Now, whether you think, you needed a Sesko, whether you're someone who thinks we needed an Mbeumo and Cunha, whatever, but bottom line is the gaffer needs to have some input in. Like, if he doesn't want these players, why are clubs buying them? It's weird. Same with Chelsea, same with, like, why are you buying players that the gaffer doesn't want? It doesn't end well. Because the gaffer is like, unless this player comes in and rips up, the gaffer's always going to be side-eyeing you. Always going to be side-eyeing the director of transfers or the director of football. I told you I didn't want him. You know what I mean? Amorim was tasked with getting rid of the bomb squad. He was tasked with, sorting out Jadon Sancho, sorting out Marcus Rashford, sorting out Garnacho, the 5 players. You know what I mean? He done that, and now just as Man United are semi-turning a corner slightly, we're up. We're everyone presumes we're going to have 5 Champions League spots this year. You know what I mean? As long as all the English teams go into the quarters, I think it is. Not all of them, 3 of them going to the quarters, whatever it is. We should have 5 spots. We're sniffing around Champions League, and as I keep saying, and Steve keeps saying as well in the groups that we're in, like, if you told me that at the start of this season, will you take a Champions League challenge, but definite Europa League football? Yes. And I don't believe there's a Man United fan alive that would have said anything different. And if they were lying to themselves. But now all of a sudden, Man United fans have got a bit, hold up, we're in 5th. Oh, we should be like challenging. We should be up there. And it's crazy to me. It's absolutely mental to me. Like, I don't understand it, how just because we're doing better than we thought we might, all of a sudden we should be back where we were. Man United fans in general, this is a plea to all of you. You've got to get your mindset right. We are not that Manchester United at the moment. We are an 8th to 5th placed team. The squad is not good enough to be any better. We're going to have seasons over the next couple of years of beating teams that maybe we shouldn't, but dropping points against teams that we definitely shouldn't drop points to. A couple of injuries decimates us. And you've got to feel bad for him here as well. Like, people have been very upset with the last couple of results. We're missing 7 key players. Yeah. Through AFCON and injuries. Now, this, like, I understand people like, but injuries, like, as soon as you mention injuries, like, I do it as well. It is an excuse for Man United at the moment because we don't have that squad depth. Like, we drop a couple of players, and you're bringing in Jack Fletcher, you're bringing in Mantanto, you're bringing back one of the bomb squad in Maresca just to fill up the bench. Like, so yeah, I feel really bad for him. I had turned a corner with him over the last couple of month or so. It was actually like, do you know what? I can see what we're doing. I can see the progress, and we've got to stick with a gaffer and see it through. It's going to be pain, but we've got to do it. As for Man United, the club, we're run by fools. Pure and simple, we're run by fools. From the Glazers down to Ineos. Just look at the decisions they're making over the last couple. Ten Hag dropped 200 mil worth of transfers on him in the summer and sack him a month later. Should have sacked him at the end of the season if you're going to sack him. Amorim, as the work finishes 15th, dropped 220 mil of players on him to build a system that no other manager in the world plays, remember, as well. Because people forget it's not a 5-3-2 or a 3-5-2. He plays a very specific 3-4-2-1. That's his formation. It's like, and we've now got players like, round peg, square holes again when the next gaffer comes in. So, yeah, he's done that. You should have sacked Amorim in the summer. If there's ever an inkling you were going to sack him, should have sacked him in the summer. And what's happening is, and who was it? Rory Talks Football suggested this, and do you know what? I hadn't thought about it. It's true. There's a nasty pattern starting to surface at Man United, which is if you speak out against the board or those above you, you're sacked. Rangnick, open heart surgery.
Yeah. And he was
later,
right.
And he was right. A day later, he's been pushed upstairs, and Ten Hag doesn't need him anymore. He was meant to stand as director of football, if you remember.
Yeah, he was. That was part of the
he
deal,
was meant to be interim manager and then an advisor or technical. Ten Hag, we can't play the way that Ajax play. It's different here. I need more. Boom, sacked. Amorim last night says what he says, sacked. You know, like it's getting a bit like you go against us, you're gone, and I don't like it. Mate, people running Man United need to sort it out, and Man United fans need to get on this train as well. We have to get through the pain.
Yeah.
We have to do what you did. We have to do what Arsenal did. 8th, and 5th. I know 15th's an aberration. I get it, but we've got to get through it because otherwise you're never going to build anything. You're just going to be chopping and changing managers for the rest of the time. I mean, I don't even know who we're getting now, to be quite honest. You've got Darren Fletcher to the end of the season. You know what I mean? In the next month and a half, we've got Man City, Arsenal, and Chelsea, I think it is. Is he going to be able to do anything against these teams? I don't know. It's crazy. We've got to get through the pain. We've got to subscribe to a philosophy of a manager and stick with it for 3 years. Ratcliffe said that's what he was going to do with Amorim.
Yeah, he did.
That was his exact words.
He said he's going to do injuries, and they said, "What if he comes 6th position again?" He repeated himself. He's going to do it, and I think that was, and I rated that because it was like he weren't going to get drawn into thingies. He weren't going to get. They weren't going to start splitting hairs and say, "What about this? What about that?" And he stuck to it because he didn't want. He knows what comes if you say, "Oh well," if you even look like you're thinking about, "Oh well, maybe no." He said he gets the job for 3 years, and then we assess it at the end. And that, and you know what I mean? He's got the backing there, but there's obviously a lot that's behind the scenes that we don't know. It seems like Jason Wilcox is the man that's involved around the circling a lot around him.
He's found out apparently there was a blow up between the two last week. Again, this is all hearsay, and this isn't even from a credible source. But apparently, they actually had a Barney about philosophy of football and what formation Amorim should be playing, which sort of tracks a little bit because Amorim did change his formation the next game after that. Like he did, we played the four at the back, didn't we? Sort of, and then he reverted back. He didn't like it. We did better, but again, it wasn't like because we haven't got the players. It was more fitting people in. We did win the game. Was that the? Who did we beat? I can't remember who we beat now. My brain's gone. Say again. Newcastle. The 1-0 was it Newcastle the 1-0? Yeah, because then and then. Yeah, we had the 4-4 with Bournemouth as well.
Is that when he come out with the line, "I didn't change this because of the media"? So maybe that was playing on the back of his mind, and he really didn't mean he didn't change it to the media. He potentially changed it to someone else.
Yeah, and he's had a massive and Wilcox, and basically it's come down to Wilcox has again hearsay. Wilcox has gone to Barada and been like, "You got to pick, you got to choose. We can't have these two." And Barada and they've just like
doing. What is he?
Just like Dan Ashworth.
What is he? What does he bring to Man United?
Apparently, he's the director of technical director. That's it. So whatever that entails, this is the thing with these vague titles. Technical director, like what are you doing? Exactly right. Apparently, he's in charge of transfers. Like he's the one that takes it to Barada. He's the one that you go. You know what I mean? Barada's the top man. You go to Wilcox first to give you information, the scout, and then Wilcox will sift through it. Yeah, and take it to thingy and like. But listen, it's mental. As I said, it was the same with Chelsea. These clubs need to give the managers more control. And basically, bottom line is Amorim's done exactly what Maresca's done. Realised that he ain't getting what he wants, and it's going to cost him in the long run because Man City, Man United aren't going to do it. So let's get out of it. Give me my payday. Give me my payday. I'm out of here. Like, if you ain't going to let me go, that's what he said, wasn't it? I'm here for 3 years, then I'll leave.
Yeah. Because it wasn't like we'll see how it goes. We'll see what we're assessed then. It was, I'm gone. And then we move on. It was like, it was very cut and shut.
It's an absolute shambles. I'm just so bored of it. This manager merry-go-round. Whoever we bring in next, like as I said, it's a plea to Man United fans. Please, like the football's going to be terrible for a while. Just let us get through. Look at Arsenal and gain solace and faith from that. Look what
people don't
we're
want
doing.
that, Garth. People will say, look, people will say, oh, look what they're doing at Arsenal. Look what the model. Look where they are now. Yeah, they don't want it. They don't want to wait. They don't want the long term. They want the quick fix. They would rather have a quick fix and know full well that in 2 years they have to change it. 2 years they have to go for a couple of years of rubbish because they've got players that they don't need in the squad that the new manager doesn't like.
When you said he's like Garth said there, when the Man United fans are going to, I mean, by the way, it's not Garth put it absolutely. I mean, I don't think I could add anything because I just agree with everything he said, and I'll probably repeat everything. But we're saying that Man United fans, wouldn't want it. They wouldn't want the Arteta fix. When is it going to sink in to a lot of them? Because I've seen them talking today, and they all seem to be, looking at saying that, Amorim did this, Amorim did that. I'm glad he's gone. I'm seeing a lot of it, from people who I would normally listen to, and I don't get it. And you're right. They don't want the Arteta thing. They don't want the Klopp thing. They don't seem to want even Klopp. He took time. Do you know what I mean? When is it going to sink in to these Man United fans who want the quick fix, who want things to happen now, who don't think where they are now is good enough and feel that Amorim's got to go? When's it going to see it? This has been going on since Fergie left.
Yeah, it's not. That's the thing.
I think 13 years. This is anniversary of the 13 year of Manchester United. And I feel so sorry for fans like Garth who've gone through hell because they've had to go through all this crap with players and behind the scenes and playing up and the board, the owners, the Glazers. This has gone on for 13 years now, and sacking manager after manager after manager. And they're still doing it now, 13 years later. And there's still, even to this day, when Amorim goes, and like Garth said, they're sitting in sixth place. And we said that, I think, maybe even a year and a half ago, what we would think Amorim would need to do, in his tenure and his progression over his contract to where we get. And we're pretty much all in agreement, I think, of he's where he's at, where we think he should be.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when are they going to see that these models don't work? When are they going to see that this doesn't work?
I think there's the people that someone. Yeah, I think the people that wanted Amorim out still, even though Man United are in a healthy position, are the ones that thought to themselves that now we got to this position, we could actually not necessarily win the league, but we could push to be involved in the conversation. We can cement Champions League early. We can guarantee Champions League. When it's the reason, the situation Man United in now is topsy-turvy. It's if you've got your best 11, then you can take on a lot of the teams in the Premier League and get wins. But if you haven't, even if you're missing one player, it makes the game a struggle. That's where you are. That's what you need to understand. You get to a good position and you're trying to run to the finish line already, and you're out of breath. You've forgotten. You've got to take this. You've got to take your time. It's about laddering up. You got here this season, boom, you start here. You got here this season, you did it. Now you're in the conversation. Now you can talk about, because you've been in the Champions League for 2 seasons. You can talk about being really pushing for the league. That's how you got to do it. It takes time. You can no longer just go out and buy 11 players and hope they fit. The days of Chelsea and Man City doing that, you can't do that anymore. You have to do it in increments. And the chances are you ain't going to bring those players in January. So it's season by season. And you've got to take time. This whole notion that things can be rushed. We can win this. We can do that. It's why you see, I'm going to come back to Chelsea again, because they're our noisy neighbours. We butt heads all the time. But that's why you see every time Chelsea come up against Arsenal with their new manager, and there might be a draw. It's phase 1 so-and-so, phase 6 Arteta, and you're mocking it. And you think to yourself, hold up, little man, give it a couple of weeks. Oh, and they've lost again, they fall off. Because you're not there. you're not. Yeah, you've done well to get the draw. You've done well to get a result there, but you haven't got to the where you need to get to, because lo and behold, you've got. As you say yourself, you've got a weak defence, or you've got this or that, or you need to make sure that this player's in form, but otherwise you ain't on it. That means you're not there yet. Slow down. Stop being so quick to try and mock someone, to try and banter another team when you ain't even in that space yet. Like, chill out a little bit. Steve, where do Man United go manager-wise? Who do you think would be a good fit for a long-term manager?
They don't want a long-term manager, do they?
Who do you think would be a good fit for Man United?
Don't dodge the question, Steve. You've got to keep it out of nothing now, mate. I'm so pleased you to go to him instead of me, kid, because I ain't got nothing. I ain't got no one.
Of course you ain't. Yes, that's why I didn't ask you.
I don't know. You look at, if you're a manager of any ilk, like I don't know. Let's just names off the top of my head, like Eddie Howe, Gareth Southgate. I don't know.
No, we're going to do a game. We're going to do a game. Steve, you say a name. Gareth says yes or no.
Gareth
Steve,
Southgate.
what was your first one?
Gareth Southgate.
Eddie Howe and Gareth Southgate. Eddie Howe. I mean, do you know what, lads? At this point now,
that's a long term, though. God, that's a long-term manager.
Exactly.
Long-term one,
yeah, like if we're talking like an actual project, like if we can actually stick to a project. So just quickly before I say yes or no, there's another thing I see Man United fans do, which is it's the same conversation. Like this is what I was saying in one of my other groups. It's what you're saying to me now about how you can't watch the football anymore, and it's a dead team, and we're not doing this and we're not doing that. I heard that about Solskjaer. I heard that about Mourinho. I was saying it. Let's not say I heard it. I said that about Mourinho. I said that about Solskjaer. I said that about Ten Hag. And do you know what? We're getting into the law of diminishing returns, because each time we've got rid of a manager, we've got worse. We've got worse.
Remember that Solskjaer game?
Mate, Man United fans honestly are saying bring him back. One more run, the last dance. Solskjaer back as interim.
The last dance.
Sorry, I'm swearing now, but like someone else said, the problem you've got with Solskjaer is he had McKenna and Carrick. It was
look where McKenna has gone. Look where Carrick's gone.
Yeah.
Carrick's not done as well, but McKenna got Ipswich into the Premier League.
So yeah, you're talking Eddie Howe. No. I mean, no, I was being facetious. Gareth Southgate, definitely, because that's a short-term fix, I think, with Gareth Southgate. Mm-hmm. I think Gareth Southgate would be fully aware he's coming in for a couple of years to steady the ship. But
he would want control, though, Gareth, wouldn't he? He would want these people would want control. They give him control.
I don't know about Southgate or Eddie Howe, to be fair, mate. I think both of them would be willing to come to Man United as a coach. And as a head coach and allow it, I think. I don't know.
I think Eddie Howe is a coach as well. I think of the two, I think Southgate would be more the one that would want a bit more control, because I think he was heavily involved in St George's Park build-up, because he was already a FA man.
You can't imagine Southgate and Eddie Howe having much pull with players, can you? I want to go and play. You may get the odd one, you may get English players, but I'm talking about they want to have a massive pull. So I can see why.
I could be being a bit biased. The bias was a big Eddie did. Man United's the poll. Doesn't really matter.
I think it is. I think you're right. You are right. And if Man United have the position and they've got the name, then you are starting to get bigger names back in. Beforehand, it was Man United. They're a bit of a mess. We can see they're a bit of a mess. But if they have some structure to their team, so it looks like they're building and going forward, and they're consistent in a position, people are running to Man United again. Like it's like they got Cunha and Mbeumo when they're not in the Champions League, and Champions League clubs wanted them. So
all three of them, you think about it, Sesko, Cunha, and Mbeumo, we brought them in, and all three of them were highly touted in the summer. I know what you're saying, Steve. I do know what you mean. I think Gareth Southgate, though, his man management is very well respected, isn't it? So I think even if the player was a little unsure about the gaffer, he could convince them, maybe. But then apparently the rumours are that the front three in the running is Laurent Blanc. I mean, he's had his issues. Julian Nagelsmann. But I mean, that has to be a long-termer. If you're bringing Nagelsmann in, like that has to be a 5-year contract up front. And like, we're giving you what you need and what you want to make this work. And Gareth Southgate. Which if we do get Gareth Southgate in, Dan Ashworth will probably want to go down to Old Trafford and start beating the shit out of people, because that's why he got the sack, weren't it? Because he said that he wanted Gareth Southgate over Amorim, and Jason Wilcox went no, and threw a wobbly about that as well. So yeah, it's a shambles. But
He's got a bit of an ego, this Jason Wilcox, isn't he?
Clearly, it feels like it. Or it's De Ligt, isn't it? De Ligt's have you seen that stat about the Chat? Didn't Matthias De Ligt's got a really unfortunate stat, which he's never had. Every start to a new season for him, he's had a new manager. At every club he's ever been at. From the start of his career to now, he's never had a manager for longer than 12 months, or depending where he's gone, maybe. Start of every new year, he's had a new manager. I'll send it through to you now. It's actually quite funny. Yeah, not one you want, you know what I mean? But
so it sounded like, from your reaction there, it sounded like you would be most interested in the Nagelsmann long term.
Yeah, I would, but unfortunately we can't. This is the problem, because we can't give anyone their time. This is what I mean about Amorim. I was starting to see it. I was starting to believe, because I've had my problems with him. Look, 15th for Man United is unacceptable. It's unacceptable. There's no two ways about it. And I was on the brink of saying he should have been sacked last season. And after poor performances, I've said he should have been sacked. I've said it to you, Keir. I've said it to Steve. I might have even said it on the show. You know, when the emotion is high. Once I've calmed down a day later, no. I was starting to believe with Amorim here. The players were getting used to the system. It got rid of the players. Listen, Kobe Mainoo, I don't want him to leave, but if he isn't good for the system, if he isn't good for the philosophy, then so be it. He has to go. Apparently, that was another issue with Wilcox, was that he didn't want to play Kobe Mainoo. But I was there. I was thinking to myself, do you know what? I'm seeing it. I'm beginning to see the turnaround. We've got, I think it's 6 more points at this stage of the season than last season. We've got 8 more goals. We're 8 positions higher up the league. We're there or thereabouts. You know what I mean? Yes, listen, it's so tight that when we lose to City and Arsenal in the next week, we'll be back down in 10th again for a couple of weeks, but then we'll be playing the Burnleys again and the Wolves again. And the way Man United are, well, not Wolves because we're playing twice, but we might have even got snuck a point against an Arsenal or Man City just because of the way we are at the moment, and then go and lose to Burnley.
Funny, Man United have taken points off Chelsea, Liverpool this season, Newcastle this season, Bournemouth.
It's always a close game. It's always a close game. Man United always turn up and play
Crystal Palace. They've pulled out results that stunned people this season. Things were progressing. You cannot deny that. So I don't understand the people that are standing there and clapping that Man United have done the right thing to get rid of Ruben Amorim. Because who are you thinking? Because I think they're thinking Zidane. I think they're thinking Xavi's or silly names. Do you actually know that person's going to come in and do the job, or is it just a name?
It's just a name. It's Zidane. It's Xavi. You know what I mean? When did Zidane last manage? He ever managed Real Madrid.
French job. He keeps coming out. He even come out like a few days ago and says, "I want the French job." And
but how long ago was it that he was the manager of Real Madrid? We must be knocking on 5-6 years now, mustn't we? If not more.
Yeah.
So he hasn't even been in football like that for nigh on half of a decade or more.
And I think he came from the youth team anyway before that as well. I don't think he was fresh into the Real Madrid squad from sitting in the garden. I think he was...
From the Man United, So for the Man United fans I'm talking to, we've got a bit of the West Ham syndrome. We've got ideas about our station. We are Man United. We need to play better than this. We need to. This isn't the Man United way. This isn't. And I hate that. I hate this. This isn't the way. Whatever club you are, this isn't the Spurs way of playing football. I don't care. I don't care. Like, we need, as I keep going back to, we need to give someone some time. We need to get through the pain. And Man United board and fans need to realise that we've got to do these things, and we can't get on people's backs, and we've got to actually survive through it and come out the other side a better, stronger team.
Did you see the
Say again?
Did you see the statement they come out with? What's an
you put it in the group, didn't you? Load of old tosh, mate. Yeah.
And not being funny, you need to earn that. Sorry, you need to earn the right to play that way. You don't just go, yeah, we are Man United, we're going to start playing like. No, you have to earn it. You have to build the foundation. You got to you got to build on the philosophy that you want to play, and then all of a sudden people start changing the way they play because they can't deal with how you play. You have to earn it. It doesn't just come in one season.
Did you see the reason why they sacked him? Did you see the reason why Man United? Did you see the statement?
They said that was to guarantee that we go forward and make sure we continue where we are and get better to place.
So
this is the right time to move on because now we're sitting in sixth, more or less. That now we can move on and go further up the table.
Yeah.
What?
So they're essentially making out they didn't have trust in him in any way, and they've got rid of him at the right time because we want to make sure we're keep. It's all just blowing smoke up each other's arse. It's backslapping at its finest.
You'd hope that they didn't think that, would you? You'd hope that statement they didn't actually mean that, and they don't think that way. Because then we're going back to like they're thinking like how these fans are thinking. You know, we were talking about earlier on. With the way that they got you know, they're thinking above their stations. And if like, well, we're in sixth now, now we can push on.
Go on. Look, Man United fans, you know, Man United fans have been saying this. You know, I mean, there's someone that we know outright said to me that Man United should be in third and should have 12 more points than we've got right now. And if you're watching, mate, you know who you are. And I'll come back to it tomorrow. Outright, that's what was.
Well, for me, mate, it's wall-to-wall progression. You know, I've looked into it. Look, I watched the last game they played against Leeds. To see against Leeds, I was watching that bits of it. I wasn't taking 100% like attention to it. I watched the majority of it, and I looked at Man United side, and I thought, yeah, they got Cunha and Bumbo to come back. Cunha looked decent, done some decent things on there. Sesko, some good touches. I thought I know Evan got a little bit caught for the goal, but that was, you know, when I looked about, I think I was a bit harsh with him because he mainly got caught for pace. Other than that, I thought he played really well. I think Martinez has mellowed quite a lot. He was given the captain's armband. I think he looked a lot more calmer on the
ball. Martinez only played 6 games.
Kill someone.
He's got a new body as well, hasn't he?
Yeah, I thought Shaw looked decent. I thought he played well. So I'm thinking to myself, I know it was 1-1. I thought the Man United fans were going mad that I was seeing. I thought, look, this is Leeds. This is like a derby against Leeds, man. You know, they hate each other. You know, it's at home. 1-1 ain't a bad result. And like,
as well. Look at the results that Leeds are getting at home. And this is the problem. I was saying to Garth earlier, Steve.
They've lost less games than Liverpool.
What
United.
People are doing, what people are doing is they're just looking at the name, seeing its promoted club and going, 3 points. We've got Leeds this weekend, 3 points. We've got Sunderland this weekend, 3 points. Is that home or away? Don't matter. No, it does matter. It massively matters because Leeds have got it's a horrible ground to go to for an away team.
It's nasty.
It's a nasty ground. They make it nasty. They make it nasty, mate.
If Arsenal were going there, I'll be like,
ask any player about going to Leeds. The fans will be on to you. That's why they always turn around and think that everyone hates them because they've been so rough against them when it comes to going to Leeds. Like
it's so close United. As well. That Ellen Road Stadium, like the fans are almost on you on that pitch.
Sunderland. They've made their stadium since moving from Roker Park years and years ago, Stadium of Light. It's a cauldron. The atmosphere lifts the players. Plus, they've got good players. Like, you're not going to these grounds and steamrolling these teams because they've just come up from the Championship. They're behaving like teams that want to stay in the Premier League. They're not here for shits and giggles like the 3 teams that came up last season. They're serious. They want to stay up. Sunderland will stay up. Leeds, I had them to go down, but mate, they look like going to stay up because of their home form. So stop looking at these teams and just going, well, yeah, it's an easy win. That's not how it works nowadays.
No, it's not. And go to throw in with Leeds as well. If you're a Man United fan and you think any game against Leeds is a guaranteer, go and learn your history. Go and learn your history about Man United Leeds. Go and learn it. Because as I said to you, Keir, I mean, 20 years ago, whatever it was, when Beckford scored against us and knocked us out of the FA Cup, they were League One. That was at Old Trafford. It's exactly the same what Steve's saying about Man United Arsenal. Man United are up for it when we play Arsenal. Leeds are up for it when
we played that same Leeds team, and that was when Thierry Henry had to score that late winner. We played that same Leeds team. That was a tough team. That Leeds team was the Leeds team that ended up getting into the Premier League again.
Yeah,
like they're
a tough team. Yeah, they're a tough team, and it's nonsense. But yeah, it's this idea that we're dropping points that we shouldn't drop, so that means we should be much better than we are, and I can't get on board with this philosophy. I really can't. As Steve's saying, as you're saying, Keir, I saw the progression there over the last few weeks. I was happy with it. I was happy where we were in the league. And I was actually, the worst thing is, for the first time, this is why I'm so pissed off. I'm so angry about this, lads, honestly. I've been keeping it. I am fuming with Sacked. I'm actually fuming because it's madness. It's absolute madness. I was finally beginning to believe. Like, do you know what? He might be the man. He might have something. Mate, if we stick with him and give him what he needs and actually nurture him, remember, he's a very young manager as well. We nurture him and his talents and let him do what he needs to do. Couple of years, I think we could be challenging. And now we're back to fucking square one again, and I'm fuming. I'm fuming. And the people celebrating his sacking, be careful what you wish for. Because this is what I've realised now. Like I just said, the law of diminishing returns. I celebrated Ten Hag sacking, and we're now worse. I didn't celebrate Solskjaer sacking because he's my hero, obviously. But I wanted him gone. We were worse. I wanted Mourinho gone. We were worse afterwards. So, yeah. I think that Ineos have really shit the bed here. Really, I don't get it. I don't understand it. You drop £210 million on players for him for a particular system, and then 3 months later you're sacking him. It shows poor leadership. It shows poor understanding of what football is. These are meant to be football people, and they're like headless chickens, not knowing what to do. You know what I mean? Stick to cutting the crust or sandwiches to save for later on for the next sandwich and to Jim. Stop worrying about the football, you know what I mean? Sack a few more goddamn dinner ladies, yeah. I want everyone gone now. This is it. I want the Ineos gone. I want the Glazers gone. I want it done. This Manchester United will not be back to where they should be until we sort out the rotten core of our club, and that is the Glazers down. Until we sort out that situation, and we all had hoped that it was going to be Ineos, but they ain't got a goddamn clue what they're doing. They haven't got a clue, period. Yeah. Until this is sorted out, we are never coming back. Ever. We are going to be a mid-table team. We've got 30 years of pain coming if we do this. We've got the Liverpool years, you know what I mean, from when they won their last title in 89 to when they won their next title. We've got the Man United years of after Sir Matt Busby. That's where, whatever it was, we're done. We're done out here. If we get, we might get a magic manager that does a little bit for us here and there. You know what I mean? A UEFA Cup run, maybe a Champions League like Liverpool did here and there. Doubtful. Don't get your hopes up, people, because it's a very different competition now. I don't understand it, and I'm so annoyed.
But then, how long until that manager says something? Look, you get a Nagelsmann in, he has his own philosophy. He wants his own players in. How long is it until he says something that winds up Wilcox? And then he's like, "Nah, don't rate that. Get him out."
Yeah. Do you know what we need? Sorry, what we need is Sean Dyche. So pin Wilcox up against the wall, nut him, leave him in a pool of his own teeth and blood, and walk away. A year, 2 years, because they won't give Nagelmans what he wants. Sorry, I've gone off on a bit of a tangent there. I do apologise, but yeah, I'm fuming to be honest. We are a shambles.
Emotional football fans in this channel.
We are a shambles of a football club. We're shambles.
When Ineos first come in, I've got to give Garth his flowers. They come in and they spoke well, and they basically lied, about everything they said when they come in, because when they come in, and I think they fooled a lot of people, especially rivals, especially me, because they come across with, "We're going to do this, we're going to do that. This is our plan. This is what we're looking at." And you was like, "Yeah, this looks like, they could be good for United." Remember Garth saying and turning around and saying, he said, "No," he said, "I won't. Don't take this word for it." And me and Garth on the show, and I said to him, I said, "Well, look, he's sat there and he's told you all, surely." But Garth wouldn't have it, to be fair. And in the end, Garth's absolutely right, isn't he? They've turned it into lies and cowards.
Yeah. It's just jaded, Steve, that is, mate. You know what I mean? It wasn't even... That's just, I'm jaded with it all. I've got nothing left to give, you know what I mean? And I'm sure you boys were there. Where it's actually painful to watch a football club. You don't want to watch it. You don't even want to watch your team. You know what I mean? You can't be bothered with it. You know, and you.
Yeah. When there was talk that we was going to buy in Kevin Hoffland and a couple of other players, I was just like, "No, this direction we're going."
Back to the Kim Colstrom days, kids. It was a broken back.
It was getting tragic. Like some of the players that we were meant to get excited about bringing in,
Dennis Suarez.
In no disrespect, it's the kind of players that Aston Villa are bringing in. It's the kind of players that Aston Villa are bringing in. Donald Maylands and stuff like that. Like, not bad players, but is that going to win you the league? Is that going to push you into those? Nah, it's not. It's not. It's not really not.
And this is what I'm getting from Man United fans now as well. It's like getting Emery, getting Iriola. I'm
Emery's
like, no,
a coach. Emery's a coach.
No.
Man United needs a manager. They need someone who's going to change things and have some balls.
The grass is always greener.
In that interview, like where he said like he was going to keep Amorim for 3 years and he was going to keep to the thing, and he was going to keep. He even mentioned Arteta, didn't he? He said, "Look at Arteta. Look what he's done. Look at the Arsenal trust him in. We're going to keep him. We're going to keep him for 3 years." So what's changed? What's changed?
They always mention Arteta. They always mention Arteta after like the first bit of trouble they're in. They've been there a year. They mention Arteta. Next thing you know, the guy gets a sack. Happens every time. There's no patience in football anymore.
Liverpool. I don't want to just dig out Liverpool here, but this is exactly what I was about to say. The geezer Slot won you the league last year, and all of a sudden, Liverpool fans go, "Get him out! Get him out of my club!" It's crazy, football fans at the moment. It's mental.
Going, mate, isn't it? This is what we talk about a lot. We talk about killing the game lately. This is what's filtering down now to fans of a certain age.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? People in their early 20s, even in coming up to 30. These people got a different way of looking at football. They want to sex now. You're not doing it. Get out.
Yeah.
And they'll go on their podcast. They'll go on their channels and voice their opinion on it. And it's ruining the game.
We're giving out flowers, so I'll give both you your flowers as well, because I've been very critical of Arteta keeping his job. I take it all back. Whoever runs your club had the vision, and they knew what they were doing. I still think he has to do something over the next couple of years, otherwise it's becoming an issue. You know what I mean? You can't keep coming second or not getting out. But like, they clearly had a vision and they stuck with it. You know what I mean? And I can understand why, for Arsenal fans, you're seeing the progression week in, week out, season after season, and you're like, do you know what though? It was better than last season. It was actually better than last year. Yeah. So, like, what do you want him to do?
And even though in the Premier League last season was a very underwhelming season, we put it down to a lot. We had a lot of injuries with key players. That's the thing. With key players, we had a lot of injuries. But we progressed to the Champions League to the semi-final.
Yeah.
And the season before, we got to the quarterfinal. So there's been progression every year in something. Even though it was a disappointing league last season, we progressed in the Champions League last season. And I think that's what people need to understand. Like, this is why we were a bit, especially me and Steve, we get a bit defensive when people are having that conversation about Mikel Arteta getting a sack. Because when you look at it, you're thinking, like, look where we were. Each season we've seen progression. Yeah. Like, yes, you can talk about we should have done better here, we should have done better there. The season we lost, the season before last, that was against the treble-winning Man City team. Like, the first season we didn't win the league, that was against the Man City team, which had won the league like 4 out of the 5 years prior to it. That was our first season even competing for a league when we was trying to get top 4. So it's like, you're talking about sacking our manager. Leave us alone. Just leave us alone. Stop talking about us. Stop watching us. Leave us alone. Like, go away. Yeah, it was like, stop talking about sacking our manager. And that's why I still get wound up, because like, rival fans will turn around to me and be like, Mikel Arteta don't win anything. He's got to go this season. And anyway, who are you? Like, you're sitting there with your team struggling, and now your team's just got rid of the managers, and you're talking about me sacking my manager when we're sitting at the top of the league, when we're in a title race for the third season out of 4. Like, get out of it. Get out of here, man. Do me a favor. Get out of here, man. Like,
I'd always go back, Keys. I'd always go back to the fact that I just think during the middle of our title challenges, we've come up against City, haven't we? Everybody thinks was going to win the league anyway. What do people expect us to do? Yeah, okay, we bottled it against the best team on the planet. Okay. If that's the way you want to look at it, but
I take it back.
You're going to start an argument between me and you, Steve. You're starting
Yeah,
arguing
I'll
between me and
I'll tell
you.
you actually.
You used to go bottom. I'm done with this. I ain't taking this crap no more. I don't want to hear that word. Honestly.
Oh, it's such
Because
an
I just
annoying
wonder
word.
whether that's going to be the narrative for Man City, who have had ample opportunities this season if Arsenal win the league. So we're
Man City don't. Oh, it's only Arsenal. Only Arsenal bottle things, bro.
Yeah, well,
Yeah, only Arsenal.
Well, I didn't hear much said about Man City players falling to their knees yesterday. That was backstage news. That was in the papers for 3 to 4 days, and I agree. I agree to a
I
certain
didn't like
extent.
that. Yeah, I said that.
I agree to a
that,
certain extent. You got to hold your chest up, chin up, chest up. Where the captain grabs the players and says, "Get up, come on, it's one game." Yeah, but as we can see, even the people who have been there before, even the ones that have won trebles, even the sternest of mentality, Rodri, the mentality monsters, Rodri, yeah, know that in certain games when they drop the ball, it could dent their season. It's not over, but it is the dent in their season. It's a psychological blow for them and a psychological win for the team that's now got 6 points on them. So they understand that. It's emotions. So I'm still waiting. I'm still waiting for people for the media, not fans, the media to say something about Man City falling to their knees yesterday. But we'll wait. We've got time. On to Garth, you know me, I'm petty. I don't forget these things.
Because I'm
on to because I'm petty. On to the transfer news before we go. Manchester City explore a move for Crystal Palace captain Mark Gahey for January following injuries to Ruben Diaz and Jasko Vardio. On Vardio, quickly, he has suffered a fibula fracture to the right leg and will undergo surgery. We don't want to hear that. And they've confirmed they're bringing up Max Alain from Watford. I don't know if you've heard of him, Garth. Is he any good?
Honestly, do you know what I was just about to say to kids? I've never even heard of him, mate. But you know, Man City, it'll be solid. He'll be a solid youth player.
And they probably brought him back because he's like Watford's best defender.
Yeah.
Now final decision over City and forward approach, but interest is accelerated. Liverpool, Bayern Munich also interested. Endrick has gone to Lyon. This player, little mini James Brown, we got there. It's meant to be the big thing, and it's just not worked out at all at Real Madrid, has it? At all.
I haven't really followed him too much, to be fair. I don't know if Steve's got anything more on it, but I know that he'd come in with a big potential, big reputation. Is it the typical Madrid thing where he's just started slow and they've turned on him immediately, or is he actually been proper shit?
I think it's a bit of both. He's a youngster, isn't he? So he's got to get nurtured. He's got to play his way. But Real Madrid have been doing this since they missed out on Neymar. They were always over. They will. What will they do? They will risk a player's development in the hope to bring in the Neymar that they missed out on to Barcelona, and they are still kicking themselves. They will still raid Brazil for youngsters, bring them over, too many at one time because they've got a quota of non-national players, non-national players, and then just end up selling them or sitting in the.
That's what Chelsea are doing as well, because Chelsea have got Chelsea's still got David Washington, who was high at Santos. He was ripping up at Santos. David Washington, he was a big prospect, and he's gone back on loan to them. So I just have a look at his stats. 7 goals in 37 games. I don't know, for a youngster at Madrid, I don't think that's too shabby, to be quite honest with you.
The guy
is he available, Steve?
What's that, mate?
Do you think they'd sell him? Do you think they'd sell Hendrick?
Yeah,
Has he got to that stage?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. He's not got a future there at all.
Fair enough.
There was murmurs that there was a couple of English clubs sniffing around him in the summer.
It's floating around conversations, with people I talked to for a while now. So I'm not surprised at this. But the guy is an interesting one. I was waiting for it to happen, funny enough. And I got wind of it this morning, and Sam Mockbell just beat me to it, actually. So I ended up having to put a confirmed article out on it. So, well done, Sammy, on that. I'll get you next time. But, I think it's an interesting one. It was one I was, funny enough, waiting to happen because of the injury to Gavardo. I mean, it's not good. We don't wish anybody. It looks like he's broken his leg, doesn't it? And it looks like he's out.
Yeah, surgery as well, which is not
needing surgery like that. You're probably talking a year. You probably won't see him back at the start. Yeah, look, but I mean, this time a bit like Martinez, it'll be this time next year that he's coming back, sort of thing. Yeah,
that's a massive loss to City. That's a massive, especially when they just get Rodri back, and the day they get Rodri back, Gavardo breaks his leg. So. Yeah, mate.
I think that'd be a great signing, Steve. I think it'd be a great signing.
Yeah, so do I. Very good signing. Yeah. Very good signing.
I don't think he's as good as a lot of people think he is, and I do watch a lot of Crystal Palace because of the misses. He's still quality though. He's good.
He's aggressive, good in the air, good technique, but I can see both areas.
Yeah, I can see Pep really liking. Excuse me.
I think you could say he's on that panic buy borderline. I don't think it'd be someone Man City would probably be interested in if they had Gavardo already there. I think this is a January thing, and it was like, right, we've got to go.
I think panic's the wrong word. It's a necessity buy, isn't it? Because of how low down they are.
Yeah, probably the wrong word for me, mate. Yeah, you're right. It's probably like a necessity buy. So,
do we know a fee situation at all?
Well, they
65,
really
isn't it?
No, because his contract runs at the end of the season, isn't it? So it's got to be around 20.
Oh, yeah. Sure,
that's what I was thinking, obviously.
Yeah,
that's what I was thinking.
It's got to be around that. Because I think they were looking at 40 in the summer,
I never thought he was going to Liverpool. Yeah, I never thought he was going to Liverpool after it fell apart at the start of this season. No. I never thought he'd end up at Liverpool at the end. I don't know why. I just didn't. I think it was one of the ones where that ship was passed, sort of thing. The ship was sailed, sort of thing. You know what I mean?
Do you think he was interested in Liverpool because it was a get out to a big club at the time, but it wouldn't have been his first choice if there were more options?
I don't know. They just won the league. I think he was looking for that move. I think Liverpool was the only real suitor, is what it come down to. I don't say like if there are other options. I don't know. I don't know the man. I just don't think he's got a particular preference. I think if an Arsenal came in for him, he'd probably want to stay in London, not because it's Arsenal, but because it's in London. You know what I mean?
That's why I was quite surprised when the Chelsea thing came back in, and he was actually seemed like he was interested, because I thought, really?
Yeah.
But then it did seem like the murmurs were that he was interested in Chelsea.
I think he'll be, if I'm Mark Guy now, as we sit, I'm thinking, with Gavardo go injured, if they want me, I'm going City, because...
You've got 2 seasons minimum of playing first-team football pretty much week in, week out.
We've got the World Cup coming up as well, so we don't want to be hanging around Knate and Van Dijk, who would probably still maybe start in front of him or something. Who knows? I don't know. I would have thought they would. But with the situation we're sitting at the moment, and Gavardo, he pretty much walks straight in, doesn't he?
Yeah.
And Stones is injured as well. I think Diaz has also picked up an injury, isn't he, as well?
Some breaking news from Manchester United fans.
Oh God! Now what? Have we sacked Darren Fletcher already?
Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has shown interest in taking Manchester United job as caretaker manager, regardless of the contract length. Manchester United taking their time to assess candidates for the job. Darren Fletcher will be interim manager next week.
You know what? I don't hate it. I love Solskjaer. So if it's for the end of the, I'd rather have Solskjaer than Fletcher till the end of the season. Stuff it. Like he's my hero at Man United, obviously. So, and I felt so bad for him. We were crying after we sacked him in his interview. I actually loved Man United. I was like, that's the sort of man I want.
I can't know. I mean, I look back. I can't remember.
To hear what a certain Nathan Ellerton would have to say on this, because I know by the end of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's time in charge, Nathan was very much like, there's no direction to the team. It doesn't feel like there's a game plan. It feels like it's just sending 11 players on the pitch, and it's an individual game, and what happens happens. And I just want to remind you all of the conversation.
We were called Moments FC. We were called Moments FC at that point, because it was literally just like with the Paris Saint-Germain, the penalty right at the end that Rashford had to take. It was like by hook or by crook, somehow we were getting through games. It was a moment of magic.
I mean, he sorted out that he had Ronaldo to deal with, didn't he, at the time? Didn't he?
Well,
and then he brought in Bruno Fernandes. You know, he was tracking him for a long while. He was like, I want Fernandes, go and get him.
Well, he was Haaland.
And
He went Haaland, Bellingham, and Rice. They're the he said it in an interview before Arsenal bought Rice and before Real Madrid wanted Bellingham. He wanted obviously Man United had a long-standing interest in Bellingham, but when he was Mulder manager, he rung Man United up and was like, "You need to sign this kid right now. You need to sign him right now." We told him to piss off. Like,
second with him, he brought them in then. Who knows?
Yeah, Europa League final as well. Like, I think.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm now, like, in all seriousness, not just because I love Solskjaer, I think that might give us a boost.
Is this Solskjaer, or is this a regular?
I think it might give a little morale boost to the fans. I think it might give a little morale boost to the club, but it does have to be an interim till the end of the season. And don't make the same mistake we made last time, which is he done well.
And you never know. Over in Spain, Frank Rashford might be looking at that Solskjaer thing. Oh, Ollie, what's going on? Are you going back, mate? You're going back there to I might have a little trouble.
Don't get my hopes up. Don't get my hopes up.
They want Rashford, don't they? They want him in the end. They want him.
Yeah, it's up and down with that, isn't it? One week they do, the next week I'm reading they don't. The next week I'm reading that they'll have him at a reduced price, and the next week I'm reading like.
I wouldn't discount Rashford being back if you get a decent someone like. I wouldn't discount it. I'm not saying it's like
Rashi coming back.
Rashi and Ollie.
Yeah, Rashi and Ollie. Bring Carrick in as well, you know what I mean?
Say Martial. How's he doing over there?
Oh no, Martial is in trouble, isn't he? Where is he? Is it Mexico he's in now?
Oh, he's in Mexico.
And he was in the Greek Super League.
What's the guy doing? Is he still playing? I don't know if he's still playing.
Yeah, he's at Fiorentina, isn't he? Yeah. They're doing quite well. Oh no, he's in Canada now. He's in Canada. He's in Monterrey.
Wow.
Yeah. Is that Monterrey? That's Mexico. Sorry, that is Mexico.
I know.
No, it's Mexico. League MX, it's Mexico. Yeah. So but yeah, he did nothing.
Actually, Lemons is decent, so you're probably all right.
Yeah, Lemons is a stopgap for me personally. Like, Man United fans have got a little bit excited about that because we've had 2 years of Onana dropping stinkers.
Yeah, but it does seem like you've got someone who can catch the ball and ain't going to do something eccentric for the camera.
Oh, he caught the ball. He caught it. Oh, right, this geezer. Right in.
Honestly,
but it didn't go in.
I had a tear running down my cheek when he punched the ball away. You know what I mean? Like, I forgot a goalkeeper can actually defend the corner, can't he? He's not
they can use their hands.
Pogba's not going to play again. We'll get Paul Pogba back from Monaco. Like, let's go. Let's bring the.
You know as well, someone I know for a fact because just dealing because of transfers. I know that. Talk about goalkeepers and Amorim, I know for a fact wanted Joe Garcia because I know that Arsenal wanted him.
Barcelona, yeah.
Arsenal really wanted him, and I know that Manchester United wanted him as well. I done articles about it, and it was a little bit touch and go which way he was going to go. And I think I come into the group one and I did an article and I said that I fancy him going United because of it walked straight in. You know what I mean? Because we had the Ramsdale and the thingy going on at the time, and Arsenal were looking for a second keeper, wasn't they? And he's turning into one of the best goalkeepers in the world, apparently, for Barcelona. So, yeah.
Wow. Yeah, I've heard that. I've heard he's doing well over there. If you're Spanish and it comes down to Man United, Arsenal, and Barca, you're probably going Barca, ain't you? In the long run, yeah.
But I mean, fair play to him because he still had Ter Stegen there, still had Chesney there, they still had. Like you're looking at that and you're thinking, where's the fit? But there must be something wrong with Ter Stegen because I think he was touted. He was touted to Newcastle, so I don't know what's going on there. But he's always a.
Is Ter Stegen like old now though? Ter Stegen must be mid-30s, mustn't he? And he's had a couple of bad injuries as well, ain't he? Ter Stegen, if I remember correctly. I could be wrong there.
33. So yeah, he's coming to.
Oh, do you know, he's not as old as I thought. He's not as old as I thought at all. He's not. I thought he was like later 30s. You know what I mean? So
yeah. Well, he's looking like he could be going on loan. So yeah, look, he's
Man United should be looking at that.
Too good.
Man United should be looking at it.
Look what he did with what's his name with Van der Sar.
Yeah,
like 33 for a goalkeeper is like 29, 28, 29 for an outfield player. He's got 5 years in him.
Yeah, it'll be 34 at the start of next season. That's 4 good, solid years, taking him to 38. But Van der Sar went to 40. So it could be 6 solid years of Ten Stegen. You know what I mean? I like Ten Stegen. I think he's a good goalkeeper.
He's a good goalkeeper. Very good goalkeeper. Very technically good.
Again, 33, Ten Stegen. Yeah, 33. So
I'll be sniffing around that.
Steve,
before we go, is there any transfer news that's dropped on your lap recently?
Well, a few bits and pieces. Arsenal monitoring Tino Livramento. I did an article today that went out. Just monitoring him, keeping an eye on him. I think I've had a conversation in the group. We was, trying to work out why Arsenal will be looking at him. And
Lewis Skelly pushing into that middle.
Well, he's all right. He can play. I think it's more the right back that I'm told that they're looking at. So, and it's been whispers that Ben White's not 100% happy with the minutes that he's getting.
It's understandable.
It's not
understandable, but he also needs to keep fit.
Someone you would have.
But he also needs to keep fit, though. Like I get.
But is it? I know some players say they need to play to stay fit. Like that's what, and apparently I've heard this before. You know what I mean? And it's like you're calling on me cold, and the injuries are happening because I haven't had enough minutes in my body, sort of thing.
And I completely get that. Some players can come in, some players need to. Yeah, and I get that. But Ben White was overplayed. He was overplayed because remember, Yuri and Timber had an ACL injury, so he was overplayed for a full year. And then Timber was overplayed because Ben White had been out for a full season, and then Ben White came back recently after not getting games and people worrying about Ben White again, as they always do. And he played 4 games on the trot and got injured again. So can his body handle that the high intensity football, the massively competitive game, every game that we play? Can his body handle that now? I think look, I can understand.
Steve was talking about it. Yeah, me and Steve were talking about it, and I was thinking to myself, why would he want to come World Cup year, blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? He wants first team football. But then, exactly what I said about Madueke, if he's willing to come and fight for his place, because he likes the project, Arteta's sweet talked him, that's a fantastic signing. That 23, I think he's got potential to be a very good fullback, wing-back player. He's also got the potential to go up as well. He's one of them players I think could play the old right back, right wing-back, right mid, right winger. So look, if you can get him, fair play. It'd be a lot of money though as well. I would have thought it'd be in the 60s for Livramento. I would have thought personally.
He's also someone that can play, on the left side as well. He's one of these right.
Play right back. I think he was playing that yesterday, wasn't he?
He's pretty versatile.
Concerned as well. There may be concerns about his injuries, and Arteta. You know how Arteta thinks. He likes defenders. He loves load of options, and who can play right. So he's someone that when it was told at me, I thought it was something worth putting out there. I was interested in it, so I whacked it out. I did a little something on it. And
have you played Maresca wing back here, full back? Because he can play right back as well.
He did play right back the game. He can play there. He does a good job, and that's what Hincapié can do as well. And in fact, I prefer him at left back or in that left three, because he can maraud up the pitch. He's not. It seems that he's. To be fair, I think people from the outside were quick to dig out Hincapié on his performances because they're seeing that the goal that Chelsea scored. I think there was one goal where he kept his team on side, and there was another goal where he tried to look for the player up the pitch rather than hoofing it up the pitch and getting rid of it, and it came back to us, and the team scored. And I think people are seeing those little bits and completely ignoring all the other games that he's played. The fact that his first game was a North London derby, his second game was up against Chelsea. He has had it tough since he's come in, and he's done an excellent job, I would say, for the pressure. He's in a team that's trying to win the league. There's no room for error. I think he's done a really good job so far. And coming at left back as well, I think he's done a solid job. So also with Calafiori there, I can see why Miles Lewis-Skelly isn't getting minutes. And if we are looking to move Lewis-Skelly up further in the pitch long term, which I think we should, because we do need an extra body in those positions, then I'm not against bringing in another fullback. But I do want to see Miles Lewis-Skelly moved into a more advanced position in that midfield. I've seen him there before. He's a class act. He's good on the ball. You see him at left back now. I don't worry about him being in that midfield because he's got that intelligence to get his body across, to win a foul if he needs to he's got a good dribbling and he's a powerful runner as well. So I've got all the confidence that he can do it in the middle. He's a very good passer. So if it is time to start moving him and giving him some game time, then so be it. Because I do think he needs to start getting some games. And if we have got Capier and Califury in there, it's hard to see him getting too many starts in that left back role. But there is an opportunity to get him in that midfield. Any more stories, Steve? I think I saw Kai Havertz contract talks potentially.
Yeah, a few quick ones. Arsenal have started discussions with Kai Havertz over a new contract, sort of. Talks are currently focused on a 1-year extension to the German international, currently running until 2028. So it'll be an extra extension until 2029. This is basically on a reward basis. So what I've been told.
Look what it's done. Look what it's done with Trossard. People poo-pooed that, and Trossard they've got a new burst, new spring in his step because of that contract.
Yeah, and it's just through like the way it's a reward. I've been told it's like done on a reward basis. It's not you won't be getting any pay rise on it. It's just another year's contract, which will basically align him with all the others. Top players like your Salibas and your Magalhaes, your Gorikis, your Maduekis, all eventually obviously Saka and Odegaard's will be around the 29 to 2029 mark. So this will be just putting him up with them, so he's on a level playing field. So that's something that I think would be good for Arsenal. Couple more just interesting stories. Edo Gaspar, someone we all know, the Nottingham Forest head of global football. His job's apparently on the line, and he's scrutiny ahead of the West Ham game against Nottingham Forest on Tuesday. I don't really know what the game's got to do with it, but there you go. That's what I've been told. But basically, there's questions that are emerging over his future at the club.
Who did they bring in the summer?
Sorry, mate?
I can't think.
Who did they bring in the summer?
Yeah, I really can't think who they brought in the summer now. Nottingham Forest, my brain's gone.
Amari Hutchinson, 43 mil.
Oof.
Dan Ndoye, 40 mil. Oh, this is big money.
Oof. Yeah. Oh, that's two bad ones straight away. They're not even like semi-good. They're proper bad, both of them.
Back 35 mil from Strasbourg, Chelsea.
It makes you wonder, doesn't it? It makes you wonder why Arsenal were quite happy for him to move on.
Kilimendo, 30 million.
Yeah,
James McAtee, 25 mil.
And he's not in he's been poor, McAtee.
No, but the fee's not too bad for McAtee. That 25 mil, I think that's decent.
They managed to get in 3 Botafogo players in for around 40 mil. Igor Jesus, who had a good what the
start
well in. Yeah, but he did well in something before that.
Copa America, I mean.
Was it Copa America? Something. He did well in that. Yeah. But 19 games, 1 goal, 1 assist.
One other interesting story I thought was really interesting. West Ham's Callum Wilson is in talks to leave West Ham just after 5 months at the club.
Yeah, what's that?
I thought it's really interesting. He's fallen out over something there, and there's been there's talks going on at the moment, and it's looking like he's going to leave. That's something that has come from a friend of ours. And
they've just signed 2 strikers, haven't they, West Ham? I think is what it is. They've just signed 2 strikers, ain't they, West Ham? Or they're trying to sign 2 strikers. The one from Lazio and the one from.
Maybe this is a falling out apparently. As well.
Pablo and Tati Castanelos. Yeah, they've signed them. Right. They've signed 2 new strikers. So
I'm surprised at that because Callum Wilson's decent for West Ham. So because they're in trouble at the moment, aren't they?
Yeah,
so,
Callum Wilson's one of them players he's a solid player, yeah, but his injury record is absolutely stinks. Like it was only a few years ago he got 18 goals in the Premier League, but then after that injuries. Like,
do you know what he's thinking though?
Not reliable.
He's 33 years old, and he's thinking England are weak with forward options.
Yeah.
If I and start doing well, I can get that third after. Harry Kane, after Ollie Watkins, there's a third striker spot available. If I do enough, I could get in there.
And to be fair to him, his name he's been around the England squad for a while. He's always been in and around it. I think he might have even gone to some tournaments.
It wouldn't surprise me.
But and like you said there, it only takes that little run at the end of the season to be in the manager's eye. Look, there's Danny Welbeck, there's what's his name? Calvert-Lewin, there's Wilson. Like, there's a few players that are like, do you take them? Do you not? Like, they're not the prime striker, but they're an option to be in and around. Like, there's an opportunity for an English striker to get that spot in the World Cup. So I can completely
100%.
understand why he's a bit
World Cup. And the chance of getting England actually got a chance of winning a World Cup as well. You take over, on the pitch. You may not even get a minute, but you could take over World Cup winners, man. I
think you'll see a lot of English strikers this year really putting it into hard work, especially towards the end. So if you've got leads towards the end of the season, especially away from home, you could be in trouble. You could be in trouble.
Right, and he starts playing.
All of a sudden, Danny Welbeck's like Superman again. So, yeah.
Just before we jump off, can I ask Steve a question here, mate? Which is, are we going to have a proper quiet January? Because it feels like the rumour mill ain't really ticking over. I'm not seeing any like big moves on the horizon. It feels very, very slow business out there at the moment.
I mean, it's been a bit mad. Like, if you take away transfers, everything else has been going on. It's been absolutely crazy.
Transfers.
Yeah, but I mean, January is January. I think when you mentioned the word necessity, I think you've got to look at a club who probably need necessities. There's a lot of rumours. You know what January's are like. All sorts of stuff's going to come out. All sorts of things. But I
asked that because of the Trent Alexander-Arnold rumour that went round a couple of days ago that Man United were going to offer 40 mil for him. I was like, we're really slow. We've got nothing left, have we?
That's the story. If that's the story.
One United thing that I do keep is a United story I keep hearing about. Well, I say Manchester United. This guy's been linked with quite a few Premier League clubs, but and he seems to be the name on everybody's lips at the moment. But I've checked into it today. I've spoke to a few people, and they don't think this guy's going anywhere. And that's someone who I don't know if you used to know more about him. I don't know a lot about him, and that's Yan Diomande, the 19-year-old. I don't know if you've heard of him or you know too much about him, but he's supposed to be the next big thing. And Manchester United are apparently interested in him. Spurs
we mean the Sporting fella. You mean the Leipzig fella, don't you? The Diomande at Leipzig you're talking about.
Yes.
The Ivorian. Yeah, he's actually meant to be pretty good.
Games, 6 goals, 16 games, 7 goals, 4 assists, all competitions. That's a solid year so far.
Yeah,
he's 19 years old, and for January for like 60 odd million. As I said, I've listened to Fabrizio on his tube state on his YouTube, and I'm not hearing what he's hearing because he seems to think that he's going to go. From people are hearing him, his price is just too high for a 19-year-old for someone to take a risk on in January to change their season, whether you're a relegation side, whether you're tied going for top 4. So, and to be honest with you, that makes more sense than what I'm hearing from obviously very, high people such as Romano who's in the know.
They got to get their engagement, mate. They got to get their engagement. So even if there's a hint of a sniff of a player, they're going to be, looking at this fella, what I mean?
American Academy.
But when you look into it, he's 19. He's a £60 million player. It's January. It's still a risk, isn't it? We've seen them
massive risk. And you look at Leipzig, you've got to be very careful with the players. You've got to really assess them. You can't just be going looking at them players when they're hot and then being like, we'll snap them up. People will be stung by some of them Leipzig players that you get if you're buying them.
Yeah, I'd be fuming if we went and bought another forward instead of going and get Angelo.
Midfielder.
I think Angelo Stiller. Yeah, because 65 mil, you're getting Angelo Stiller. Like 100%, you're getting him for that sort of money. Like cheaper.
And it does seem like it's his time to move on as well.
Yeah. So I'll be fuming. But yeah, it felt like it's going to be a quiet window, even more quiet than usual. It felt like to me just recently.
See, the same with Harvey Elliott. Do you know what I mean? He's
Poor guy.
But they've got to buy him because he's already been at 2 clubs this season already.
He's going to America, isn't he?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Is it Colorado or Seattle or something like that? Yeah, Colorado Wizards or something like that. He's off to America because he's already transferred twice in 1 year.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. I think a lot of people come unstuck with their articles. I've read a few articles of being interested, and I'm going like, I don't think these people are very knowledgeable in. They should have looked into their research a bit more. The fact that he's already played for 2 clubs.
Yeah, no, it's an absolute mess. It's because the deal that was written up for him was a deal that they've got to buy him. And if they,
that's right, you can buy him.
He can't go back to Liverpool either. He can't.
Why can't you go back to Liverpool? Did he get a game this season for Liverpool?
No, what is it? It's because
no, he did. He got a game. He got a game for Liverpool this season. So I mean,
he can't go back to Liverpool.
I think it's to do with being on the books, isn't it, or something? I don't know.
It's something. I can't remember what it was. I was reading about it the other day, but he can't go back to Liverpool. He can't be loaned out to another club. Can't be loaned out to another club. So he has to go back. He has to. MLS is the option. Which,
I tell you what, will make him feel good. Go because I don't rate it highly, but over in MLS, mate, he's going to tear it up.
Absolutely slap the place to bits. They're going to be like, "Oh my god, Harley Elliott in the upper 90!" Like they're going to absolutely love him. He's going to be scoring goals.
God, we were talking about. I just talked to someone. We were talking about managers. What about Unai Emery? Man United.
No, that's a hot at the moment thing for me. I rate Unai Emery. I think he's a good manager, but no, not for me. I think he's exactly the level of club he needs to be. A team that will, a team where he's got a lot more control over things and he can, you know what I mean? No one at Aston Villa is going to be upset if he finishes 9th next year. Yeah, not really. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like,
they're a bit disgruntled, a bit annoyed, but he's back. There's not the summer's not spent talking about he needs to get out my club.
Exactly. And I want to know he's a good manager. I'm not saying he's not a good manager. He is a good manager, but it's not what I'm looking at Man United. You know what I mean? It's not what I'm looking at.
100% agree. It's like if Man United were in Aston Villa's situation last season, there's big calls for Amorim to get the sack because they didn't get him didn't get Champions League football. Like big calls because they were on it and he fell off. So I think Unai Emery's a really good manager, a really good coach.
He is.
But it's just one of them people that when he's good, everyone's talking about him. When Aston Villa are not in good form, it's very quiet. There's nothing about him. They're not, and I'm not looking for people to point out that he's doing bad, but it goes quiet. But when he's doing well, when he's doing well, it's big talk. It's comparisons. It's should Arsenal have kept him? Like so, no.
Yeah. No. If he was on a free, and it was like it's a 6-month deal to a year deal, sort us out, that would be a different matter. It would be a different, but taking him off Villa, I mean, I don't think it'd come. But and then giving him a 5-year deal, not for me. No, like I like him as a gaffer, but we're already at that stage where we need the next level up from him, if that makes sense. I know Villa are top 3 at the moment.
He seems to struggle, doesn't he? He seems to struggle when he goes to a big like PSG. He didn't do that good there. He wasn't wonderful at Arsenal, but he's good at a club that's basically got Villa in the name, isn't he?
It seems to struggle, Steve, when the pressure's on. When the pressure's on, when the pressure cooker is on,
I thought that was quite funny.
To struggle. And it's like when Arsenal were trying to get Champions League football and he made the decision to put all his eggs in one basket and go for the Europa League final and we lost to Crystal Palace, so that Champions League football wasn't on there, so we had to win the Europa League final. That's a poor decision. That's a poor decision because it weren't just a Crystal Palace game, it was the Brighton game as well. Like poor decisions there. Like you can afford to do that with Aston Villa. You can't afford to do that with a club who, if they do something like that and they don't make it, they are ridiculed. Aston Villa ain't getting ridiculed. Sorry, you ain't getting ridiculed for not getting Champions League football. Arsenal, Man United are. Chelsea are. Liverpool are, Man City are. So yeah, and Aston Villa ain't in that conversation. So yeah, he's better off where he is, which is why when there was talk of Newcastle, I thought that was a good move for him as well before he went to Aston Villa. Not the big clubs.
Cancelo's just signed for Barcelona.
Oh, fair play. Good signing.
Oh, was he?
Where was he?
I was in Saudi, weren't he?
It's Saudi Arabia, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Wait, so he's got his 6 months worth of silly money, and now he's back at Barcelona. I wanted him at Man United, I really did, but I know the Man City connection meant it wouldn't happen. So
it's on loan. Sorry, on loan till June.
I've always rated him.
4 million.
Loan
deal. 4 million loan deal for the rest of the season.
That's a good deal. 4 mil for him for half the season.
Very
he's quality.
He's quality.
Yeah.
91. You've got 2 good solid seasons.
Yeah, in his prime, he was one of the best fullbacks in the world, without a shadow of a doubt. 100%. And when he retires, he'll go down as one of the best. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. That is all we have time for. Thank you very much for joining us tonight, Steve.
Cheers, mate. Pleasure. Thank you.
It's a January transfer window, so you'll be silly not to go and follow Steve K on Twitter. Just type in Steve K. And you'll find that you can also find.
As I say, it's not going to be busy. Today's been absolutely mental.
Find him on transfer. That's not him. That's Fabrizio Romano. Steve, I've got you back there.
Cheers, mate.
So you can find Steve K there at Steve K. And Garth, thank you for joining us tonight, Garth.
Always a pleasure, mate. Always a pleasure. Never a chore.
And thank you for everyone who's joined us tonight on YouTube. If you are a regular to the show, press that like and press that share button. If you are new to the show, press that like and subscribe button. We had quite a few people watching tonight. So please, if everyone presses that like button, it makes a big difference. And it's free. We all like free things. So
don't cost you nothing.
Not
even a movement. It's
Mama didn't raise no fool. Pick up that penny, press that like button. Right? Don't know what the connection is there, but I like it. If you are on TikTok, go and follow the Transfer Exchange Show on TikTok. We're building nicely, coming up to 8K, and go and follow Kieran AFC for your daily dose of Arsenal content. And it is daily at the moment. Like I'm on a roll.
And I am. It ain't usually about Arsenal, really. It's just ranting about fans at the moment. So it's a laugh.
I rant about my own fans as well. I get onto everyone. No one is off limits. Honestly, I don't care who you are. If an Arsenal fan winds me up with stupidity, I'm calling them out.
If you're one of these fans out there that talks nonsense, beware.
Yeah. I do it. I've had people my DM saying, this isn't the way to go. This isn't the way to grow your account. Account I spoke about that decided to get on his burner account and jump into my DMs and say that. But I don't care. I weren't growing anyway.
We've tried the nicey way.
What are you talking about?
We tried the nicey way and you didn't like it. So now you're getting both barrels. Both barrels.
Thank you. I like that. Yeah. Yeah. You should have been up the front there and I should be doing the Coming to America. Yeah. All right. Thank you for joining us tonight, people. Peace out. Stay safe. Yeah. I've done that without even preparing to turn off. So, what a fool. I was just lost in the moment. Peace out, people. Stay safe.